Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go. 90 Wolf. Line 54. They can't hang with the fight.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And not the start he was hoping for there as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Hey, Jet. Ready?
Looking to throw. Daniels. And he's got Snead.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
It's a gain of 35. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Going to give this time to the tailback. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
50, plant. Watch the slant, watch the slant. Back. Check. Lucky.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
55. I'm here all day. He's crashing.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Able to slither by. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Defensively, they rallied the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st. Tavecchio puts this one through. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
They'll set up a throw. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On first down, here's Breida. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Tackle made there by Trayvon Howard.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On second down, a run with Breida. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 27-yard line. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Good job, D.
I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along as they want to continue.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage.
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now they try the right side here. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's Xavier Rhodes there in on the stop.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Lions on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on third down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, third down conversions. So they got one there. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down now, it's Johnson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
All right, we get slap happy up here sometimes. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Let's go now. 18 games.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know. Defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A great play there. His 19th touchdown now of the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Tavecchio good on the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
They run with Breida. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. And they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1.
Go.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's got the hook up here. It's Woods. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. Looking to throw. They got a man. It's Woods. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. He'll look to throw. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway.
Let's go, get excited. Let's go, let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. They run again with Breida. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings. Now it's Breida. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. And Diggs has it. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. His 9th touchdown of the season as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are even at 10 apiece. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. A run there on first down gets 3 up to the 28. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. It's still a nice play by the defense.
Now this will go for 5 up to the 33.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Ready. 8-3. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Greystone, Travis. SOS.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Through an opening, and there he goes. Past the 20. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Ty Johnson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that makes it a 17-10 score. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Romeo Okwara in on the tackle. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. He's picked off near his own 48, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Now they'll run it on the toss. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Kerryon Johnson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Tavecchio good on the extra point. And the lead now up to 14. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Here's Breida. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
He's checking.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. They go play action here on 1st down. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings.
Everyone's got 4 down.
Room here to run. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss, but with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
That'll be complete to Breida. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run with Breida. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the... And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Matt Breida with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Ready?
Off play action. Daniels. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's complete to Diggs. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going.
Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop. 51 the mic, boy.
He'll drop to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. breakaway. They stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Lions will take over. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And an alley to run. And nothing but daylight ahead. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. With touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Lions are able to extend their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Left side caught by Diggs. 30, the 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, 84 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. They get one more as the extra point's up and good, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down here in a 1-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it? And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3. Check 4. Out, 80 weapons.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
Here we go. 15-1.
And he'll give it here to his running back. 20, 10, and he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. So a little icing on the cake there before the clock hits all zeros.
What a way to finish things off. Exactly what. Not much time and a touchdown to put things away.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here.